What's the first 48 hours with Jalen back been like?
It's been awesome. You know, our coverages obviously were a little bit tighter, obviously these last couple days, but it's really good to see him out there. He's in tremendous shape. You know, he's been doing a lot of football movements when he's training with his dad and that kind of stuff. So you can tell he's really put in a lot of hard work. And, you know, just as we anticipated, he's an unbelievable pro. And we knew he'd come back in shape, and he did.
Jalen said that it's no setback season. You guys haven't had to really deal with injuries yet.
Yep.
Do you kind of feel like that is giving you guys momentum as you go into the break?
You know, it's nice, obviously, to have all of our guys out there practicing. You know, we don't, for the most part, you know, we got a couple that are very limited. But, you know, I think it just allows us to keep advancing defensively. You know, the things that we've changed and the things that we've added this offseason, you know, we get to see them, you know. And some of the good things, though, you know, early on, guys weren't here, and we were able to develop the depth on our team. I think that's very important. You know, last year we were very fortunate to stay healthy. You know, knock on wood, hopefully we can again. But our job is to develop those young guys so when they do get an opportunity to go in there game day, we don't miss a beat.
I know you're on the defensive side of the ball, but watching Austin Safarian-Jenkins in practice, how hard to cover their game plan against that guy?
You know, he's a matchup issue. You know, we knew that when we played against him in the Jets last year. You know, he's a big body. He can run, does some great things, extending the field vertically. So he's going to be a great addition to our offense. And he's tough to play against, which, you know, it's only going to make us better because we play against, obviously, a lot of good tight ends.
This group together for a year or over a year, able to be a little bit further ahead of where you want to be at this point, since you don't have to get everybody on the same page?
Yeah, we've been done with installs for probably a couple 3 days now, and we're just adding stuff that we do during the year. You know, where last year we were not, we were still base install at this point in time. So, you know, we're ahead of the schedule there. But I think being the second year in the system again, it allows us to do more things in situational football because our guys understand what's asked of them and what the call is designed to do. So it's very encouraging. Obviously, it's an enjoying being on the grass with them, and they're making great strides.
Because you're in that spot, do you have to guard yourself against maybe getting too far ahead of yourself or too tricky?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you guys are out there at practice. You see some of the things we're trying to do, and sometimes we got to throw them out because it's too much. But at the same time, you know, we're going to do what we can to, you know, so our players can play fast. But I think, you know, we're a little bit predictable at times, and we need to be able to adjust that.
So reacting faster because of what you just talked about, meaning faster to the ball with a year under the belt?
Yeah, there's no doubt. They're out there playing fast. They're communicating extremely well, pre-snap with indicators and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's a credit to them. Obviously, they've all played together for a year. They trust each other, and they're playing fast right now.
You have a group of veterans, obviously, not only played together, played well.
Yeah.
And so you said things we put in the off season. Is it different defenses, more disguises? I mean, as well as you guys did last year, is it difficult to just go year to year and rely on basically, you know, the base things that you're doing?
Right. You know, our base will not change. You know, we're a base 3-deep team, and we sprinkle in some other stuff. But, you know, we got to get better at everything. You know, we did not play as well as we wanted to, even though we did have some success. I think we can get better. Our players know that we can get better. So, but as coaches, we got to be able to find more ways to put them in position to be successful, because once again, they're very, very talented. And like I said earlier, you know, we got to get them in that position and then get the hell out of the way.
Now that you have more of a body of work to view, what is your take on Taven Bryan?
You know, he's a big, strong man. You can see that out there. I think the move out to defensive end's been very good for him. There was some, you know, learning curve because he's never played it before, but he fits into our system well. He has the flexibility of going inside and rushing, and probably the most encouraging thing is he's very intelligent. So we can throw a lot of stuff at him. He understands the whole package from top to bottom, and that's encouraging for a young player.
What do you think his biggest asset is in being able to contribute to that line? Because it's just such a
Yeah, they're pretty talented up there. You know, the biggest part is he's just so big and strong. You know, he's going to continue to learn how to pass rush at our level, but he's very strong-handed, plays with great pad level and base. So he's going to be a force in the run game. And then once we get pads on, then hopefully we're going to see him continue to develop as a pass rusher.
How's Dante been doing just in the classroom and in meetings since he can't be in the field?
Good. You know, he's in there taking notes, and you know, in some of the walkthroughs and stuff, he's over there asking questions. You know, with the rules that we have to have with an injured player. But you see him progressing, obviously mentally, and you know, you'll see the athleticism when he gets back out there in the fall.
When you line up against your current offensive line, can you see that they're bigger, better, you know, just all the things? Because I mean, you look at people's offensive lines every week.
Right.
What's the Jaguars' offensive line?
You know, we don't have pads, but you can tell they're going to be stout. I think we've gotten a lot stronger. You got to give credit to Milo here in the offseason of really building some muscle mass on our offensive line and our defensive line. But you see the size and the strength. You know, we're just in gym class, but they're athletic also. You know, and I think, you know, with Nate and his philosophy and Doug's and Tom's to run the football, we're going to be stout up front. And they're athletic enough to control, obviously, our athleticism up front. So that's an encouraging group as an offensive line.
Where does Miles need to improve where when he's on the field, you understand that he has a total grasp of what's going on?
I think we're going to get that once we get pads, obviously. You know, he's been very limited this spring, and that's by design. But, you know, in the run game, he's fantastic in the pass game. But, you know, just the adjustments of playing inside in the run game, we'll get all that, obviously, when we get into training camp 9-on-7, and we'll really be able to hone in on the run responsibilities for Miles.
What can you guys do between the end of minicamp and start of training camp to improve when they're away?
The biggest thing is when they come back, by the structure of how Doug has set our practice schedules in training camp, if you're not in shape, you're not going to make it. It's a tough grind, and the bottom line is for us to be champions, we got to outwork people. We're talented, but we got to understand we got to work. So they got to think about 40 days that they got to continue to work, stay in the playbook, and you know, physically make sure they're ready to go when they come back.
So it's more physical than a mental thing in this break?
Yeah, because you know, I mean, they'll do football movement drills and all that kind of stuff, but there will be no schematics for them. So the biggest thing is just come back in shape, healthy, and get ready for this grind.
How does the third best safety play if there's an injury? How interchangeable are all your safeties?
All of our safeties currently, besides probably the new guys and Ronnie, are strongs and frees. They can play both. By the time that we finish training camp, all 6, all 5, you know, however many we have, they'll be dual taught. So it's important. You never know with injuries who's got to go where and what. But obviously Church and Gippy know both. J-Dub knows both. So by the time we get out of training camp, every safety will know them both.
Are you still trying to figure out what you want to do at the third linebacker spot? It seems like Payne's been in there, Brown's been in there, Purcell's as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it's going to be a battle once we get into training camp. I don't think. Yeah, I can't say any roster spots are fixed because some of them are, but you know, there's a good competition at that linebacker spot for our depth, and you know, we feel that we got, you know, 6, 7 guys that can really play. So we'll let that shake out once we get into training camp.
There's a starter on the roster now.
Oh yeah, there's a starter on the roster. Yeah, we got some good depth, and I think with some of the guys not taking every rep, you know, Telvin hasn't taken a lot, so we're trying to once again develop those younger guys. That was one of the biggest things we said we had to do coming out of OTAs, is develop these young guys. So if something does happen, we can continue to play at a high level.
Follow up to that, what have you seen from Leon Jacobs, and what kind of stands out about him?
He's big and strong. You can see him just physically. He is rocked up. But he's very heavy-handed. He's fast and a quick learner. He really does a nice job of what we're asking him to do, understand the checks that are within his position, and we look forward to seeing him in pads.
Coach, having had a taste of the playoffs last year and just knowing how good this team was last year, and year one in particular, how much does that drive and motivate these guys to really take it to the next level this season?
A lot. You hear them talking about it. You know, what our goals are, not only as a defense but as a football team. You know, they're talking about it. But the most important thing is that, which they do know, is for us to get to that goal, we got to outwork people, and that's the mentality of this team. There's still a nice little chip on their shoulders. You know, we did not accomplish jack last year. That's kind of the mentality that we're going with, and you can see that they have a chip on their shoulder and they want to come out and get better every day.
Your expectations for Dante going into the fall since he's not participating?
You know, he'll come in. You know, it's a situation he hasn't played, but he's played before. You know, he knows the system. There's a little bit of some tweaks and stuff that we've done, but he'll come in. He'll be in shape. You know, we expect him to be an impact pass rusher. We expect him to play on first and second down, and you know, be an impact on the game. You know, that's what Dante is, and we expect that same stuff when he comes back.